Okay, so you have here Land Rover, Discovery, Range Rover. They sometimes have these fitted to them. You'll see these quite a lot, especially sort of like in the 2005 to 2015 models. And I'll show you how you can get these out. This one's quite simple, really. Don't need to be afraid of these. It's just it has a spinning collar on the top there, which that's normally spins around. You can just see it's a little bit loose there. You notice that it's got a bit of an indentation there. That's because all you have to do with this particular type of lock and wheel nut, when you see them on a, say, a disco, is just put either a conical, which is like a smoothbore socket, or an impact socket. I wouldn't use your cheap aluminium type sockets, but sort of a 3-inch impact socket. Make sure it's a nice snug fit when you put it on. You can't have it so it's slack when you put it on. It needs to be quite snug on that lip, just there. That's really what you want to catch, is this lip, not the spinning collar. If it fits right on the back here of the spinning collar, that'll just turn with your socket on it, which will cause another bit of a problem. So what you want is to work off this area here on the front, and your socket needs to be either just a little bit too small so that it actually squashes the top of it, which is ideal really, and then it will squash straight onto this spinning collar. It'll indent the spinning collar there, you can see it, just with an impact socket. And but the main thing is that it'll grip this edge. You've got like a, I don't know, 2mm edge to it there. I don't know if you can see that. This bit here is what we want to grip on, this edge there, and not the spinning collar, just this edge, and it'll just come straight out. Another one that we'll find quite common is this type here. Quite bulky, quite well made these are. Again, the idea with these is that, if you just put a socket on the top, it will just spin. I don't know if you can notice there, but there's a lip which is wider than the bit on the bottom. This lip here is what catches people out. If you try and put a socket on the top of that, it won't catch on the bottom, which actually turns the socket, the nut. If you just put a socket on the top here, it will just turn this top section, and then you need to realign it somehow so that these grooves, those grooves there are in line before you put a proper key on the top. So you've got to be careful about sticking a socket on. Now, the good news is that if you've got a mate who's got one of these type, you can actually use his key. Here's a key. These two don't match up. This key is not for this nut. But what we're looking for, you notice that these two grooves, and they're quite close together there. Two grooves close together. Two grooves close together. You can see them there. Okay, those two grooves. What we want to do is that when you look at the key, what we want is just one groove is what we're looking for, just one. We don't need to get all 4 slots. We're just looking for one. So you can just borrow a key from your mate. And in fact, I took this set off with this key, actually, because the guy had lost his key. And what you do, you just look for one of these notches. Let's find one. There we go. There's one here, look. See on the bottom there? There. And what we want to do is line up just one of the notches with one of these little grooves. So imagine that's in your vehicle now. we line up one notch in here, and we look for a nice notch, like something like that there. So that's in your vehicle. And what we do is we push this on, and now that groove, that little notch there, is going into the groove here. The other three, it doesn't matter. And now that's on, if you look, that's actually in the groove. And it'll stay like that. If you just tap it with a hammer on there, even though it's kind of like a kink in it, a bend, it's not straight, that will actually turn. And then it'll come out like that. You break it, just tap it with a hammer or just throw it on the ground and it'll just split apart again. So you just find yourself one little notch on here, like this one here, that one there. Find yourself a groove, you know, and then you get your notch to go in that groove at an angle, something like that. There you go, like that. Tap it with a hammer and that will turn. If you want to, you know, if you can get hold of one of these second-hand, all you've got to do to do it perfectly would be just to get, I mean, it's only kind of light alloy, just to file that down, or get like a drill with a grinding bit, a cone grinding bit, and just grind these off so it's flush. It'll take a couple of minutes. This thing is really light alloy. It'll come off really quick. Those things, those bits there, just grind them off and just leave one notch, and then that'll just fit on straight on then, because those notches are not lining, sorry, those little notches there are not lining up with the groove because it's not the correct key. But if you take the other three off and just keep one notch, you only need to line it up with one groove and that'll turn the whole thing. So that's one way of doing it. Or you can go on eBay and just buy one of these generic ones, and this will fit all of them. And you notice with this one, which you get off eBay, they're about, I think they're about 18, 19 pounds. It only has one notch, just there, look, just one. And what you do, you just find yourself a groove to slot it into, and it will just slot in like that. There you go. And what you do is just get yourself a big old spanner, you know, like the big old plumber's spanner. Grip it onto the side there with a, you know, a big, massive, like plumber's spanner, adjustable spanner, and that bit that's sticking out, and just prise it off. Now you get your adjustable spanner like that, and you just prise the thing off, just prising it off, and it'll come straight out. And so that's how you do it. And I think these, a set of 4 on eBay, I think it'll set you back about £35 upwards. If you buy one from a dealership, I think it can cost anything up to about like £100, sometimes more even. I've seen some advertised for £160. But on eBay you can get a set of 4 for about £35. So what you can do is you can buy a set of 4 off eBay. You'll get a brand new key, obviously, and just do what I showed you just to get them off. Just find yourself one little groove like that. Put it at an angle so that your groove, your notch slots into your groove. I'm getting my grooves and notches mixed up here. So your notch slots into your groove. What we want. That one's not such a good one. Yeah, that seems to be okay, that one. But that's what you want to do. There you go, like that. When it's actually in the vehicle, you'll just, you know, you'll just turn it and you'll feel it catch, but at an angle. You'll just feel it, you'll hear it clicking like that. And that's what you want. And just leave it bent at an angle like that, and it'll come out. Or you can just get these off eBay, as I say. I think these are about £20, but these are universal, and it only has one notch in it. And you can just pop it into any groove then, you know. But again, when it's in the vehicle, just, you know, kind of twist it around till it feels comfortable and you can hear it. It's in nice and solid. Get yourself a spanner and that'll come straight out. There you go, just a quickie.